Hello. It seems that I'm blurry. I wonder if that has something to do with it. How's that? No, I'm still a little blurry, ain't I? I might also be pixelated because my signal is not very strong where I'm at here. That's not so bad. How about this? No, that's too much. That's what they say, garish. I'm going to read chapter 10. Yeah, I am. I'm going to read. I need both of them, though, to see. Let's not forget that. I'm going to read chapter 10 of Tobacco Road by Erskine Caldwell, written in 1937. And sticking its picture of moral and physical decay among the impoverished sharecroppers and tenant farmers of the South. This novel has been universally acclaimed for its high literary merit and for its socially significant viewpoint. Throughout the book, there runs a skillfully drawn thread of rich humor, imparting to the reader a sympathetic understanding of the shocking state in which many Americans still live. I don't know why this is all skewed. Maybe I can fix that before I start reading. Do I have a... I do have a... I have a fork. That's what I have. I'm trying to... You should see the way I do things. I get a kick out of it. I hope you do too. Let's see that. How's that? That's seems to be a little more straight. I wish I had something to prevent this from sliding, but you know what? If it slides, I'll just fix it and carry on. Alright, chapter 10. Dude waited outside the garage and looked at the new automobile on display in the show window. Bessie had gone inside. Dude had said he would stay on the street and look through the window a little while. Bessie waited in the middle of the floor several minutes before anyone came out of the back room to ask what she wanted. Presently, a salesman walked over to her and asked her if she wanted anything. He noticed that there was something unusual about her nose the first moment he saw her. "I came to buy a new Ford," she said. The salesman was so busy looking down into her nostrils that he had to ask her to repeat what she said. "I came to buy a new Ford. Have you got any money?" He glanced around to see if any other men were in the room. He wanted them to take a good look at Bessie's nose. "I've got enough to buy a new automobile if it don't cost more than $800. He looked up into her eyes for the first time. It was hard to believe from her appearance that she hadn't as much as a penny. "How'd you get it?" he said. "The Lord provides for me. He always provides for his children. He ain't never sent me nothing, and I've been here 30 years now. You must be on the inside some way." The salesman laughed at what he had said and looked down into Bessie's nostrils again. "That's because you don't put your trust in the Lord. You ain't got that much money sure enough, have you?" Bessie took the checkbook from her skirt pocket and showed it to him. While he was looking at the name of the bank and the balance to her account tabulated on the stub, she walked to the door and motioned to Dude to come inside. "Who's that?" the man said. "Is he your kid?" "That's Dude Lester. Everybody's heard of the Lesters on the Tobacco Road. Me and Dude is going to get married today. As soon as we can get the new automobile, we're going to ride around the courthouse and get leave to marry." The salesman shoved the checkbook into her hands and ran to the door of the office. "Hey, brother. How's it going, Dude?" I can't remember, but I don't. My memory's actually pretty decent, but maybe you don't. Maybe you never even told me. Nothing wrong with handles. The salesman shoved the checkbook into her hands and ran to the door of the office. "Come here quick, Harry," he said. "I got a real sight to show you." An older man came out of the office and walked over to where Bessie and the salesman stood. "What's up?" he said, glancing from one to the other. "This woman here is going to marry that kid, Harry. What do you know about that? Have you ever seen anything like that before?" The older man asked Dude how old he was. Dude was about to tell him that he was 16 when Bessie pushed him behind her. That's none of your business how old he is. I want to buy a new automobile. That's what I came here for. I walked 5 miles this morning to get here, too. Hey, Tammy. Welcome in. How's it going? How's Arizona today? The two men were whispering to each other when she had finished talking. The older one looked at her face, and when he saw the 2 large round holes in her nose, he stepped forward and tried to see down into her nostrils. Bessie covered her nose with her hand. Good God, he said. Ain't it a sight, though, the salesman said. Has she got any money? Harry asked him. Don't waste no time fooling with her if she ain't. There's a lot of them just like her who come in here from the country and never buy nothing. She's got a checkbook on the Farmers Bank in Augusta. She said she's got $800 in her account. The stub shows it, too. Better call them up and find out about it first, Harry said. She might be telling the truth, and she might be lying. Some of them people out in the country do some tricky things sometimes. She might have found the checkbook and filled it out herself. They went back into the office talking about Bessie's nose and closed the door. After the salesman had called the bank, they came out again where Bessie and Dude were waiting. How much do you want to pay for a car? The salesman said. $800, Bessie told him. Harry nudged the salesman with his elbow. Josh, that's it. You're right. Oh, Dude. How old are your babies? Mine got old. I used to love reading to them. That's why I'm reading right now, is because I miss reading to my children so much. I do read children's books from time to time, but mine are 19 and 24. It happens. It's cliche, I know, but they grow up so fast. It's crazy. 16 and 11, yeah. They start growing faster at that age too. But no, that's great. I've been busy too. I've been really busy. I went to a couple shows, music shows, in the past week. Yeah, a week. It's only been a week and I've been to 2 shows. One was a free show, donation based, and the other one was I think it was donation based as well, but it was good. There was experimental stuff. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Harry nudged the salesman with his elbow. Now this is a nice little job here, he said, leaning against the fender of a new touring model. It's $800. You can drive it today if you want to. You won't have to wait for the tags. I'll get them for you sometime next week. You can drive a new car anywhere in the state for 7 days while you are waiting for the tags to come from Atlanta. They winked at each other. Every time they wanted to put over a quick sale, they told that lie about the registration laws. Dude went to the car and blew the horn several times. The tone of it pleased him, and he grinned at Bessie. Do you like it, Dude? Ain't nothing wrong with it, he said, blowing the horn again. Whippin' whappin' wins, huh? Oh, boy. I'm all right, Tammy. I'm in pain. I'm always in pain. That's just my life, though. Pretty good. It was a beautiful day today. My brother had a party at his land. He has a nice bunch of acres, and he had all his friends over. My mom was there, and her boyfriend, and my nieces. It was fun. Excuse me. It gets pretty rowdy over there, though, so I didn't stay too long. I stayed for, a few hours, probably about 3 hours. I didn't get to drive any of the 4-wheelers or dirt bikes that he has. That was kind of the theme to today's party. Everyone brought over their toys, and he has like a track he made through the forest. We'll take that one, Bessie said, pointing at the car. Let's see your checkbook, the other man said, jerking it out of Bessie's hand before she could give it to him. He took the checkbook, tore out a blank, and hastily filled it out for $800. While the man was writing the check for Bessie to sign before she could change her mind or leave the garage, the salesman was again trying to look down into her nose. He had never seen anything like it before in all his life. Sign your name here, she was told. I always have to make my mark, she said. What's your name? Sister Bessie Rice. You must be a woman preacher, the man said. Ain't you one? I preach and pray both. She touched the end of the pen while an X was crossed after her name on the check. The automobile's yours, she was told. Is the boy going to drive it home for you? Wait a minute, Bessie said. I clear forgot about praying. Let's all kneel down on the floor and have a little prayer before the trade is made. It's all over with now, one of them said. No, it ain't neither, Bessie insisted. It ain't over till the Lord sends his blessings on it. The two men laughed at her insistence, but Bessie had already knelt down on the floor and Dude was getting down on his knees beside the automobile. The two men stood behind her so they would not have to kneel on the floor. Dear God, we poor sinners kneel down in this garage to pray for a blessing on this new automobile trade, so you will like what me and Dude is doing. This new automobile is for me and Dude to ride around in and do the work you want done for you in this sinful country. You ought to make us not have wrecks with it, and we won't get hurt none. You don't want us to get killed right when we're starting out to preach the gospel for you, do you? And these two men here who sold the new car to us need your blessing too, so they can sell automobiles for the best good. They is sinful men just like all the rest of us, but I know they don't aim to be. And you ought to bless their work and show them how to sell people new automobiles for the best good, just like you were. That's all. Save us from the devil and make a place for us in heaven. Amen. Dude was the first to get on his feet. He jumped up and blew the horn 6 or 7 long blasts. The two men came around in front of Bessie, wiping the perspiration from their faces and laughing at Dude and Bessie. They looked at her nose again until she put her hand over it. Dude and Bessie got into the automobile and sat down. Dude blew the horn again several times. Wait a minute, the salesman said. We'll have to roll it outside first and fill up the tank with gas. You can't drive it like it is now. Bessie got out, but Dude refused to leave the horn and steering wheel. He sat where he was and guided the car through the door while the men pushed. After the gasoline had been pumped into the tank, Dude started the engine and got ready to leave. Bessie got in again, sitting in the center of the back seat. Where are you going now? The salesman asked Bessie. To get married? We're going around to the courthouse to get leave of the county, she said. Then we'll get married. The two men whispered to each other. Did you ever see a nose like that before, Harry? Not when I was sober. Look at them 2 big round holes running down into her face. How does she keep it from raining down in there, you reckon? I'll be damned if I know. Maybe she puts cork stoppers in them to keep the water out. She would have to do something like that in a hard shower. Bessie leaned over and prodded Dude. Drive off, Dude, she said. Ain't no sense in staying here no more. Yeah, thanks, Tammy. I hope life is treating you well. I'm working 2 jobs now, and I haven't got much money, but I have a place to stay, and my car is all right. Needs some work, but I'll just... Oh, boy. Excuse me. Trying to save my money. I'll be damned if not... Oh, yeah. Dude put the car into gear and turned the gasoline on. Being unaccustomed to the new model, he did not know how to gauge the amount of gasoline, and the car jerked off so quickly that it almost lifted itself off the ground. The two men jumped out of the way just in time to keep from being hit by the fender. Bessie showed Dude which way to turn to find the courthouse. When they reached it, Dude got out reluctantly and followed Bessie inside. He wanted to stay in the car and blow the horn, but Bessie said he had to go with her to get the license. The clerk's office was found at the end of the hall on the 1st floor. Leave to get married to Dude, she stated. I don't know. Something keeps happening. I don't know. Can you hear me all right, Tammy? Am I pixely? Am I all pixelated? I was in the last video, so Mo said. That's what Mo said for me. I can't write the words down. Can't you write? He asked. Can't you sign your name? I never learned how, she said. He was about to say something when he looked up and saw her nose. His eyes opened wider and wider. All right, I'll put it down for you. But it ain't my business to do that for you. You ought to do it yourself. I don't get paid for writing people's names for them. I'll be powerful much obliged if you will do it for me, she said. Who are you going to marry, Sister Rice? That's him back there by the door. Who? Dude. His name is Dude Lester. You ain't... I can't give you a license. You'll have to wait a while and come back next year or so. Dear God, Bessie said, dropping to her knees on the floor. This man said the county, give me leave to marry. No, if you don't make the county give me leave to marry, I don't know what evil I might... Wait a minute, the clerk shouted. Stop that praying. I'd rather give you the license than listen to that. Maybe we can do something about it. Bessie got up smiling. I knowed the Lord would help me out, she said. Has that boy got the consent of his parents? He can't get married unless he's got the consent of both parents, according to the laws. I hope it's not annoying to you. That beep, beep. I hope it's not annoying to you. That beep, beep. Bessie there brought me along with her. Well, I can't give you a license to marry, the clerk said. It's against the law for a boy under 18 years old to marry without his parents' consent. And no amount of praying can change the... You know how much I've been counting on marrying, dude? You ought not much I've been counting on marrying, dude? You ought not to let nothing stop. Wait a minute. To let nothing stop. Wait a minute. Don't start that again, the clerk said. Who are this boy's folks? His ma and pa don't care, Bessie said. They're glad of it. I talked to them both early this morning on the way down here to Fuller. What's his daddy's name? Jeter Lester is Dude's pa, and I don't reckon you would know his ma if I was to call her name. Her name is Ada. Sure, I know Jeter Lester, and I don't reckon he does care, nor his wife neither. Don't reckon he does care, nor his wife neither. I had to give Love Bensie a license to marry one of the young girls, because Jeter said he wanted it done. She wasn't but 12 years old then either, and it was a shame to marry her so young. But it's in the law, and I had to do it. She was a pretty little girl. I never seen a girl before in all my life with such pretty yellow hair and blue eyes. Her eyes was exactly the same color as robin's eggs. I swear she was one pretty sight to see. Dude is older than that, Bessie said. Dude, he is 16. How old are you, Sister Rice? You didn't tell me your age. I don't have to tell you that, do I? She said. That's the law. I can't give you the license if you don't state your age. Well, I was 38. He don't take none too good care of me and mine, the clerk said, and I have been supporting a member of the Fuller Baptist Church since I was 20 years old, too. He don't do none too much for me. That's because you ain't got the right kind of religion, Bessie said. The Baptist is sinners like all the rest, but my religion provides for me. What's the name of it? It ain't got no regular name. I just call it holy, most of the time. I'm the only member of it now, but Dude is going to be one when we get married. He's going to be a preacher, too. You'll have to pay me $2 for the license, he said, writing on a sheet of paper. Have you got it? I've got it right here. I don't see, though, why folks has to pay to get married. It's God's doings. There's something else I'm going to ask you. It's not required by law, but some clerks don't ask about it. But being a good Baptist, I always feel like I ought to. What's it about? Has either of you got any disease? Not that I know about, she said. Has you, Dude? What's that? Disease, the clerk said again, pronouncing the word slowly. Like pellagra or chickenpox or anything like that. Is there anything wrong with you, son? I ain't got nothing wrong with me that I know about, Dude said. I don't know what that thing is, no way. You sure you haven't? He asked Bessie. Did your husband leave you with disease of any kind? What did he die of? He died of age mostly, I reckon. He was well on to 50 when we was married. Has either of you got a venereal disease? What's that? Bessie asked. You know, he said, venereal disease. Maybe you call it sex trouble. I used to take a powerful number of bottles of Tanlac, but I ain't lately because I ain't had the money to buy them with. No, not that. What I'm talking about comes from women sleeping with men sometimes. My former husband had mites on him pretty bad sometimes. I had to wash both him and me off with kerosene to get rid of them. No, not mites. Lots of people get those on them. It's something else, but I reckon you ain't got it if you don't know what I'm talking about. What other things do you want to know? Bessie said. That's all, I reckon. Now you give me the $2. Bessie handed him the 2 soiled and ragged $1 bills she had been gripping in her hand. She had several more and had been paid for them. Wait a second. It was all the money she had left, now that the $800 had been paid for the new... You a married man? Bessie asked. I've been married 15 years or more. Why? Well, I reckon you know how pleased me and Dude is to get married then. She said a year or two a man wants to go out and do it all again over. No. After you've been married a year or two, a man wants to go out and do it again all over, but it can't be done. The law puts a stop to it after the first time, unless your wife dies or runs off, but that don't happen often enough to make it any good. Me and Dude is going to stay together all the time, ain't we, Dude? Dude grinned, but he did not speak. Bessie had the license in her hand, and she did not wait to hear the clerk talk anymore. She pulled Dude out of the room, and they left the courthouse and ran to the new automobile. They got in it to ride home. Dude blew the horn several times before he started the motor, and again before he put the car into gear. When he turned it around in the street and drove it out of the... Then he turned it around in the street and drove it out of Fuller towards the Tobacco Road. Bessie sat erect on the back seat, holding the marriage license tight in both hands so the wind would not blow it away. And that's the end of chapter 10. No. Thanks, Tammy. Thanks, Josh. Stupid notifications.